Hey guys, Garlic here with another 2004scape video for you. This one is going to be the October updates video. This is part of the series I'm doing where we go through all of the updates that came out in RuneScape back in 2004, month by month, so you guys can have an idea sort of the chronological timeline of updates. I will preface this again, as I usually do, by just saying that this is not sort of an explanation of how Lost City are planning on releasing the updates. We are already on the 28th of June, and I'm recording this in October, so some of the updates have been split up. Some of them have been sort of, not quite up to date with the month that we're in. And also the way that revisions work means that some of these updates might span over multiple months, pushed together into one update, or some of them might take up updates that come out in the same month and separate them into two separate updates. So this is just sort of like a timeline series for you guys to see what is coming up in the future, but it is not going to tell you exactly when updates are coming out or what updates will be matched up with other ones. But with all that said, I hope you guys enjoy, and make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you do, and look out for the November updates coming very soon. But let's get right into it. The first update in October comes out on the 5th of October, and this is the release of the Eadgar's Ruse quest. We can see here the news post says, Sanfew requires a rare herb for the next part of the purifying ritual. Travel back to the troll stronghold to find this herb that the trolls use as an ingredient for their favourite dish. To start this quest, speak to Sanfew in Tavali. You must have finished the troll stronghold and druidic ritual quest, and you will need level 31 herb lore. And if we just take a quick look at the wiki page for this quest, obviously you can see there you do need to have completed the Druidic Ritual quest, you need to have completed the Troll Stronghold quest and the Death Plateau quest. Some of those quests not in the game just yet, obviously, but previous updates before this one will add those before we get this. And then level 31 herb lore is a requirement as well. This quest I remember being very, very annoying because you have to get the goutweed from like the basement, and you have to like go around all the different crates without getting caught by the trolls that like wander past. So I remember this taking me a long time to do when I was younger. So hopefully it's not too bad when we get access to this. Nothing too crazy coming out from the rewards of this. You get a single quest point and you get 11,000 herb lore XP, which is quite nice. That's going to be very helpful for people to train their herb lore from level 31. That's going to be a big jump in XP. And you also unlock the ability to use the Trollheim teleport spell. Now obviously this isn't really going to have too much use because there's not much going on around there right now, so obviously we don't have God Wars, so it's not going to be used to teleport up to God Wars. It's also, we don't have farming, so there's no farming patch to go to either. But obviously farming will come out 2005, so it could be useful for that, for the herb patch. And also when Desert Treasure comes out, it's going to be useful to get up to do the ice gem stuff, I guess. But other than that, I'm not too sure if Trollheim teleport is going to be used that frequently. I guess if people want to train on the trolls, then that is an option for them. But that is the Eadgar's Ruse quest on the 5th of October. Let's move on to the next update, which is going to be the Morytania expansion on the 14th of October. And if we look at this update on the 14th of October, we will see there are some additions to Morytania. We can see here the news post says, the waters of Morytania have begun to recede, opening up a few new paths through the swamps. There are now a number of new enemies to be found in these swamps. Blood-sucking leeches abound near the waters. Ghouls can be found lurking near graveyards, and there are sightings of some of the lower-ranked vampires the race said to rule over Morytania. Also, reports of a Blamish snail infestation in Mort'ton have been confirmed by the villagers of Canifis, highly prized for the Blamish snail oil which can be made from their slime. These huge acid-spitting mollusks also bring a splash of colour to the swamps with their brightly coloured and functional shells. Enterprising and style-conscious armourers are already planning a new autumn range of snail shell helms for the discerning adventurer. Another report today comes from a slightly eccentric man who claims to have seen slimy things swimming in the swamp waters of Mort'ton. Apparently these creatures have extended bodies, a slimy appearance, narrow eyes, and go down well with lots of strong flavoured drink. So this is basically talking about some new things that are going to get added to Morytania. So obviously when Morytania first comes out, things like ghouls and the snails aren't going to be in the game. Ghouls, I remember, actually used to be quite a good way to just sort of like train your combat stats up. I remember people used to train there, usually with things like Sara swords, so a bit further into the future, but I think they'll probably still be a good spot. The only problem is they don't really drop anything, but as long as you can sort of have them remain aggressive to you, then I could definitely see some players choosing to train here. They are level 42, which means that if you are quite a high combat level, you're probably not going to be able to AFK here very much. But an interesting spot nonetheless. The leeches themselves are not particularly useful. I don't think they drop anything at all, and they're level 52, so they're a bit higher level, but they're just a bit annoying because they do drain your stats. They also have a very high attack level, so they don't have a very high max hit, but they will attack you and hit you quite frequently. And then obviously we have the snails being added, obviously for the blemish snail slime that you can get, but mainly for those snelms. The helmets themselves aren't like that crazy, to be honest. I think if we're looking at the defensive bonuses here, you get a +7 stab, a +8 slash, a +6 crush, -1 magic, and +7 defensive bonuses. So nothing too crazy going on there, but there'll definitely be some fashionscape going on when we get access to those helmets. And then the vampire spawns as well. Again, not particularly useful, I wouldn't have thought. More so just an annoyance when you're traveling through the swamp. Also in the same news post though, on the 14th of October, they have made some other changes to the following areas of the game. They've made some agility changes. So it says here, a lot of the agility areas in the game have been reworked slightly, and we have reduced a lot of the annoying delays, especially on some of the pipes. Agility now works a lot more smoothly in general. As you will now be able to get around some of the agility courses slightly quicker, we have therefore reduced the experience slightly for completing some of the courses. This means that because you can get around the course more quickly now, you won't be getting experience any slower than before, and may in some cases actually be gaining it slightly quicker. So they are nerfing some of the XP rates on some of the agility course obstacles, but because you'll be able to get around the course quicker, then you won't lose any XP per hour, or should just be the same, if not slightly better, slightly more XP, which is nice. Always glad to hear agility getting some quality of life improvements. Hopefully getting through those pipes in the wilderness course won't be as tedious anymore, especially if there's a bit of a queue at RPG's events. Others changes on the same date, the 14th, nothing too crazy, but Gnome Ball has been given a much needed polish. They say we've gotten rid of the old interface and replaced it with a much more intuitive system. Now you can shoot by just clicking the goal net, pass by clicking on another player or Gnome Baller, and tackle is now an option on other Gnome Ballers too. I don't know anyone that's actually done any Gnome Ball in 04, but hey, maybe we'll have to do a community event for it sometime after this update gets added. And then finally, the cooking experience changes. They say here, we have been more generous on the amount of cooking experience given on some of the less popular aspects of cooking. You should find this increase in experience when cooking all pies, cakes, pizza, curry, and stew. So if you're making any of those, you will get slightly more cooking experience. But that is going to move us on to the 18th of October, with the Mort'ton Shades and Mage Armor. So if we look at the news post here, it says Mortmire's south border has been breached and a path towards a strange town called Mort'ton has been found. Strangers return from such visits with tales of the afflicted and shadowy creatures who jealously guard their tomb treasure. Amongst these stories is the rumour of a pagan temple, Flameter, whose remains lie north of the town itself. Does this ancient ruined construction hold the key to this shadowy conundrum? So this is obviously going to be the Shades of Mort'ton quest getting added. So the requirements for this are you need to have done Priest in Peril, you need 20 crafting, 15 herb lore, and level 5 fire making. And upon completion of this quest, you will get 3 quest points, 2k herb lore XP, 2k crafting XP, and it will also unlock the ability to play the Shades of Mort'ton minigame, which is quite an interesting update. I'm not going to go into too much detail on the Shades of Mort'ton minigame. I will probably make a video closer to the time going into it in a bit more depth and some strategies and like all the rewards in detail. But essentially, you can go and burn pyre logs there. I believe you get fire making XP, crafting XP, and potentially some magic XP as well. And you can burn all different types of logs depending on your fire making level. And then when you burn the shades, they can drop different tiers of key that you can use to open these chests. And those chests can give you some rewards. And I think the lowest tier of chest can give you like steel items and easy clue scrolls. And then the highest tier chest, I think, can give you like rune or dragon items and like hard clue scrolls. Maybe just up to rune, not dragon. I think Dragon was an old school exclusive, but it's going to be an interesting way for people to try and get clue scrolls from, and also just to get some rewards and some XP potentially. I'm not sure it's going to be the most popular thing in the world, but I think when it first comes out, we'll probably see like quite a lot of people just doing it for the fun of doing it back in the day. And like I said, I will go over this content in a bit more update in a future video. But yes, the Shades of Mort'ton quest and the Shades of Mort'ton minigame should be coming out on the 18th of October 2004. And then also on the same day, we get the new mage armor. There's a new arrival in the Wizard's Tower, it says here, and he's wearing some very strange new armor. Split Bark armor is a new armor for magic users. Can you find all the pieces to get a set yourself? Visit the Wizard's Tower to learn more. So the Split Bark armor obviously is going to be pretty cool. It's going to be best in slot, I believe, until Mystics comes out. And you will need to get the bark and the fine cloth to be able to make this. So this is why Shades of Mort'ton will be important for people, because the bark you just get from cutting down hollow trees in Morytania, which is fine, but to get the fine cloth, you do need to do the Shades of Mort'ton minigame, so I think people will be doing it to try and get themselves some split bark. And if we have a look at the stats of the split bark armor itself here, for the attack bonuses, in Magic, the helm gives +3, the body gives +10, the legs give +7, the gauntlets give +2, and the boots give +2. And then when it comes to defensive bonuses, you've got the body giving +36 stab, +26 slash, +42 crush, +15 magic defense bonus. Legs +22 stab, +20 slash, +25 crush, +10 magic. The helmet +10 stab, +9 slash, +11 crush, +3 magic. And then the boots and the gloves both give +3 stab, +2 slash, +4 crush, and +2 magic defense bonus. So I think it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be pretty cool to see people wearing this as well. I'm very much looking forward to getting myself a set of split bark armor. And when it comes to split bark armor, actually, there is a final update at the end of October, which we will get to. But just before that, there is actually, on the 26th of October, an update for treasure trails and changes here. So we can see extra clues and clue rewards. We've introduced more clues into the mix of random clues. Those who know most of the answers will now have new challenges. Due to the bigger variety of clues, we have also added some new treasure trail rewards for people to find. Happy treasure hunting. Now, I believe that the updates for the treasure trails are going to include some extra awards that include the Gilded Rune Armor set. So that'll be the Gilded Rune Full Helm, Plate Body, Plate Eggs, Plate Skirt, Kite Shield. And then I believe it also adds in plate skirts for the existing clue sets. So for all of the God Rune armor sets and the Rune T and Rune G sets, they will also all have their respective plate skirts added. So that would be pretty cool to see. I couldn't find any more specific items that got added to the clue scroll drop table. As far as I'm aware, it's just the gilded and the plate skirts, but if anyone does know anything different, please do let me know in the comment section below. And we'll have to see what the new clue steps are actually going to be. I couldn't find too much information on this. I know that there was a big update to clue scrolls in 2006, which is when we get things like Third Age and stuff like that added. And I know they added new clue steps in then, but I couldn't find specifically what extra steps were added on the 26th of October. Whether that's the Saradom and Wizard steps, I would really hope that it is. But it might just be some extra locations without any new things being added, like emotes or anything. If you have any more information, do let me know in the comments below, though. Hey guys, Future Garlic here. While I was editing this, I realized that this was actually pretty simple to look up. So I just found the Saradom Wizard on the old school wiki page, and I can confirm that he was added into the game on the 26th of October 2004. So this clue scroll expansion, I believe, I don't think there's going to be any like emote clues or anything like that added until the future, but I can confirm that the Saradom Wizard was added, which means that we're going to get coordinate steps that are not just in the wilderness, which I'm very happy to see. Just a quick sort of run through of the drop table of the Saradom Wizard. There's not too much going on there. It's essentially exactly the same as the Zamorak Wizard. It just doesn't drop the Zamorak monk robes, and I think it has one less lore rune on its drop table. But other than that, they should be exactly the same. Obviously, the Saradom Wizard is going to be slightly higher level than the Zamorak Wizard. It is level 108. And it will attack with Saradom Strike and a Dragon Dagger that's poisoned, so watch out for that. But yeah, just to say that the Saradom Wizard clue steps are going to be added, so it means when you get a coordinate clue from a hard scroll, it's not necessarily going to be in the wilderness every time, which is going to be really cool. Anyway, back to the video. We also, on the same date, 26th of October, have the Flame Tear Hammer. We have introduced a new hammer into the game, which should help you with your temple building in Mort'ton. This can be bought from Razmire for 10,000 coins. You'll need slightly less people to build your temples if you have the hammer. You'll still need a team, and that team can still be smaller if you have a higher crafting level, but the numbers of people you need at lower levels will be less. This, we hope, will address problems we may have in the future when the update isn't so new and less people will be in the area because they are trying out other new updates. We have also changed the rewards you get from the chests in this area. Amongst other things, there has been a small increase in the chance of getting cloth. So, this is going to be an interesting update. I think we are probably going to need this hammer due to, just not having as many players as RuneScape did back in the actual year 2004. So this will help people out, and I would imagine this would get dropped in the same update as Shades of Mort'ton, so that we can use it from the day one of doing the minigame. I would like to hope so anyway. And then obviously buffing the rates of getting the cloth there, so it's a bit easier for people to make their split bark armor is going to be nice. So worth picking one of those up if you plan on doing Shades of Mort'ton. A couple of other little updates here. Music looping. They have now added an extra button on the music interface. Click the loop button and the tune you are listening to will start again when it ends. I don't listen to the in-game music much anymore, but I know some people do, so that would be nice if people have a favourite song they want to listen to over and over again. And then also potion emptying, which is like quite a small update, but is actually incredibly useful for quality of life. Potions now have a right-click empty option on them, so if you need the vials, you don't have to spend a long time drinking potions to empty them. This is just going to be nice if anyone has been like getting some early herbal levels and doesn't want the attack potions anymore and just wants to get some empty vials to refill with water and do more herbal, then you could just empty them really quickly without having to drop them or drink them. So that is nice. And then finally, the last update on the 26th of October 2004. This is actually the same date, actually, but it's two separate news posts. Mage armor revamped. So players have fed back that the mage armor wasn't looking particularly magey or powerful looking. Therefore, the wizards have given it a bit of a nip and tuck, and they hope you like their changes. So when Split Bark was initially released, it actually looked a bit different. It looked a bit strange. I'll try and find the picture of it. There's like a single image of this on the internet, as far as I'm aware. But I'll try and find it and put it up on the screen now so you can see what it initially looked like. Now, I really hope that we do get the initial version of Split Bark before they add this update in, because I think it would be cool to see people running around in like the weird old Split Bark armor, but it wasn't out too long before they decided to add this graphical update to it. So maybe we'll see the old one, maybe we won't. But regardless, that is going to be the final update of October 2004. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Which ones are you most excited for? And make sure you leave a like and subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next video.